Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to this afternoon talk with all of our partners. And as we cherish all of them, we thought of a nice place for them to talk. And as we can't travel to the Caribbeans anymore, welcome to the VRDays, I guess. So, a little sea, tech, and sun is always great and welcome on a day like this, and also when we're all stuck at home. So, we will have on stage today five of our partners: Kristina Maurer, Head of European Projects at Ars Electronica; Majid Seddati, Director of the festival, the FIAV; Ulrich Schrauth, Artistic Director of the VRHAM; Benjamin De Wiet, the festival director at VRDays Europe, and to finish with this wonderful selection, Cedric Huchet, the media art partner director at Stereolux. So let's begin, and maybe a round of applause or a little samba for Kristina. Kristina, are you near the stage?
Yes, I'm near the stage.
Yep,
Let me come up.
yep, here you are.
Hello.
I will upload your presentation, and
Thank
you're
you
on
very
good
much.
to go.
Thank you very much. First of all, thanks for the warm welcome, Harriet, and a big thank you to the Laval Virtual and Recto VRSo teams for inviting me to this session about perspectives for digital art festivals and centers today. My name is Kristina Maurer, and I have been working with Ars Electronica for 7 years as an exhibition producer, developer, and curator. Currently, I'm head of European projects in our festival team, so working across many different projects and initiatives with my team. So if we can go to the next slide, please. We should see the Ars Electronica Center. And Ars Electronica is a platform at the nexus of art, society, and technology that was initiated in 1979. And it brought together in the beginning the kind of front runners of artists and scientists who were exploring digital media as artistic medium. So it was very much for a niche audience in the beginning. And let's jump to the next slide, where we can see that Ars Electronica has in fact become quite a big ecosystem over the past 40 years since. So the Ars Electronica Center is our year-round home base and hub dedicated to developing didactic and educational formats, focusing on the impacts of technologies. The Pre-Ars Electronica is our yearly media arts competition, the results of which and the artists who are winning the prizes are showcased at the Ars Electronica Festival each year. The festival itself is a yearly gathering of the media arts community, but also has developed over the years into a very open event that really wants to introduce a broad general public and audience to the impacts of technologies through art, and includes industry partners, research and scientific collaborators, artists, universities, school, and many other participant groups. U19 Create Your World is actually a massive part of the festival dedicated to giving a platform to our young creators, inventors, artists, and innovators from age 0 to 19. With Ars Electronica Export, we develop exhibitions and various other formats with partners all across the globe. Ars Electronica Future Lab is our R&D lab and atelier, and Ars Electronica Solutions translates everything that is developed all across Ars Electronica into media applications, installations, and environments for third-party clients. So what connects all of our units and kind of what drives really the entirety of Ars Electronica is our dedication to art-driven exploration of technology, and also a conviction that we really need to consider the development, implementation, and consideration of technologies from a human viewpoint and a human center. So that's just a very brief intro into what Ars Electronica is. And if we can now skip to the next slide. And then let's go to the next one. I wanted to focus today, or I chose the topic navigating the future for this short talk, because at Ars Electronica in 2019, we redesigned all of our center's exhibition under a common theme called Navigating the Future. And the idea here was really to position the museum as a guiding compass that would help our visitors understand and explore impacts of technologies on society, but also to gather some tools that could help us in starting to understand huge political, socio-economic and environmental challenges we are finding ourselves in. What we weren't aware, of course, in 2019 was that the question of navigating the future for cultural players, museums and festivals would become urgent in a completely new way in 2020 and 21. As the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, meant that we all rapidly needed to tackle the process of transformation, digital transformation, and to really find ways of transforming our programs and formats into online modes of interaction. So in the next minutes, I just want to briefly dive into what this has meant both for the Ars Electronica Center and the Ars Electronica Festival. And we can just kind of slowly skip to the next 4 to 5 slides as I'm talking now. So, of course, while technologies and their impacts are really at the heart of everything that we do with our museum and the festival especially also, we rely very much on transporting this through interactive artworks, workshops, and most importantly, also human connection. So our exhibitions are really built to foster communication and engagement between the artworks, our mediators, and the audience. And they are built for kind of hands-on engagement, trying things out yourself, and really getting a grasp on technologies by touching, using them, programming them, all of this guided by our mediators. So we can skip to, yes, we can stay here. Thank you very much. So especially for the Ars Electronica Center, with its very strong focus on didactic and educational programs, and with a huge outreach programs and network to schools, to universities, and also one entire unit which is dedicated to capacity building for technologies for professional contexts. The first question for us last year was, of course, really how we can keep in contact with these audiences and participants and transform our programs into digital formats. So we can skip to the next slide, please. So what this has meant over the past year is really developing a new program line kind of that goes through all of Ars Electronica, called Home Delivery Services, under which really the large majority of our workshop and capacity building programs have been transformed into tailor-made programs for schools, municipalities, SMEs, or universities. So the core groups that were coming to the Ars Electronica Center before the pandemic for all of these workshop programs are kind of now getting tailor-made programs for us through online media and through online meetings and online sessions. Besides the workshop sessions, we are also streaming directly from our exhibition spaces each day several times, keeping connected to our audiences and establishing an online on-demand library where really all of the exhibits in the museum and a lot of our partners are kind of shown in all of their facets. So if we skip to the next slide, please. And let's go further. And once more, please. And once more. So if we look at this from the perspective of the Ars Electronica Festival, of course, we are faced with many of the same challenges as in the museum. So the festival focuses on transporting the impact of technologies through artworks, performances, workshops, conferences, lectures, concerts, that really invite you to interact with the artists, the artworks, and that focus on communication with all of the festival audience. And of course, the festival also has the added component that it is an annual.
Hi, Kristina. We cannot hear you anymore. Kristina, we had a little issue. We heard something, and then your microphone kind of disconnected. Can you check that? Well, we've lost Christina. Well, until she comes back and finishes maybe her little talk, I'm going to welcome on stage Romina. I think you're in the audience, and our dear friend Majid Seddati, who unfortunately have a microphone issue and cannot talk. So Romina is going to be there to present the festival from the FIAV. Please, a round of applause while Romina and Majid come on stage. Monte sur la scène, s'il te plaît. Yep. A little bit of samba. Woohoo! Okay, Majid, you can come as well if you're around. I can see your avatar here. Yeah. Well, go ahead, Romina. Let's go.
Oh, hello, everyone. So I'm here as a representative of Majid Seddati. He has come to present to us what is happening around the International Festival of Video Art of Casablanca. So he had a little technical thing. So I am going to do my best to present to you all what he has prepared for us. So in Majid, he's a professor at the University of Hassan II of Casablanca. He's also an artistic director of the Art Festival of Casablanca, a film critic, and a film scripter. So he has prepared for us the following slide. So the Festival International of Casablanca. So the theme for 2020 it's body and immersion. So in this slide, okay, thank you. So we're going to present a little bit about what the festival is about. The festival was created in 1993 by the Faculty of Art and Human Sciences by Ben Emsick in partnership with Video Clip of Manosque, currently based in Marseille. The International Video, excusez-moi, donc, the International Festival of Video Art of Casablanca is considered to be a pioneering and the leader of video art and digital creation in Africa and in the Arabic world. So the festival is a multidisciplinary event that takes place the last week of April every year. So to give you a little bit of an idea of what is happening right now. So there will be, as well as an international and a Moroccan program, but it is in the making. So that's why we're going to go more into detail with the Casablanca version. The festival has taken a turn from a global focus to a local one. So the idea is to present the artistic development of the field locally and gradually present more and more regions of the world in a more thorough way. So if you go to the next slide. Okay, so that is could be important to mention. So the festival has been created by the university. That's why they have they have a clear artistic and pedagogical focus. So we can see now that there's a real multidisciplinary presentation that happens during 1 week, and that it will present for us an artistic, a pedagogic, and scientific side of this of arts. So with conference, masterclass, workshops, dances, so all forms of video arts. So in the next, so this is just, we can go ahead. Can go ahead. Okay, so this is the edition for 2021. We can go ahead. So, well, okay, this is the focus we were talking about. We can see it's a partnership. Okay, so okay, why Quebec? So so the idea is to bring together creators and artists from Quebec and Morocco. So this will be a real exchange between creator and artist. So this is a real international cooperation in the field. So we can say it's a great thing to have artists and creators just cooperating and exchanging around this subject, so the field can grow and just go further. Okay, so yeah, here we can see that it's considered as first exchange of professionals in digital arts. This is just the whole dimension that this festival has taken around our own time. So I think if we go to the next slides, we will see, okay, it's participants, so Quebec, Montreal, Maroc, France, Tunisia, Swedish, independent artists, independent collectives, and artists. So the program, okay, here we will have what's called FIAV 2020. I think something happened to the slide. Just go. Okay, here, yeah. Okay. So here there's this a spectacle called FIAV 2020. And so the idea of this one could be dance. So we represent art, dance, and digital art. So it's a reflection about the turning of the human body to the digital art. For the next one. Right. So Eternity Be Kind. This is a new another performance and a presentation. For this one, the idea was to explore the emotional paradoxal of promiscuous and of distance that characterizes the creation of the celebrity of digital art and social media. Here it's called Field. So in this one, the connection of the cables will create the sound. So it is a composition of lights and sounds that will be at the center of the play. This one, okay. Now I have, en français, c'est 3 pièces avec les titres. This one, it's a new instrument of composition, interactive. So the photo machines, sensitizer, and the musical instruments, and a computer with projectors that will create the whole spectacle. For this one, it's called Map Mode. And so the idea is to a video projector with batteries and a laser projector and a sound system. So this creates a whole mapping that projects in form of lights. So for this one, the previous one, it's called Les Traces sur les Sables. For this one, en fait, this one could be so it's a display installation. Sorry, so this will be actually movements that will be created as it moves. It will create, it will leave traces in the sound. That's why called les traces laissées sur le sable. For this one is cœur. The idea for this one is actually poems. So poems will be representing in the panels. So there will be voices that will represent and talk and tell stories in form of poems. And there's a whole sequence that would follow. I cannot see anything now. Right. So this one is actually a show of the scenographic and the artist of Guillaume Roy, a settle. And so this could actually, it's called, so it's present an orchestra. And we actually, this one is actually the spectator that creates the sound thanks to virtual instruments. So the application is called a walkthrough music. Okay, you can go ahead. Okay. So yeah, here you will see a little summary of how the program, what the program will consist of. So we have program 1 and program 2. So you can realize it's a really vast, a really complex and thorough selection of subjects. So it will actually based mostly on projection of video art and experimental documentaries. Oh, okay, that was just the title of this edition, and now we have just the workshops. We can actually see the name of the workshop: installation of interactive performances. Okay, that will be the end.
I would like to have a big round of applause. Please, everybody, do a big samba for Romina, who actually just had a few minutes to do a translation for Majid, who unfortunately had technical issues. Thank you so much, Romina. I know this is not your area, and you just had a little short time to do it. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Woohoo! Thank you. If you have any questions, you will find Majid. He is inside of the environment. He is around. He can still talk in the chat. So if you have any questions, please feel free to talk to him. So just to finish, before Ulrich comes in, we're going to have the final words of Kristina, who unfortunately had a little problem with the application, who did a shutdown. So please, Kristina, come back on stage. Ulrich, you can stay for a few minutes. It's okay.
I have no idea how to get down.
It's fine. Stay with us.
Hello. Yes, indeed. The application just shut down earlier. So we can just skip ahead to quite the end of the presentation. Yes, let's go 2 slides back, 2 or 3 slides back. Exactly, let's stay here. So before I was cut off by the program, I was just mentioning that one of the biggest challenges that we found in the last year was really maintaining the platform function of the Ars Electronica Festival and bringing together all of our partners and artists, collaborators, while we couldn't meet up in Linz during the festival as usual. So in 2020, we had for the first time a large-scale online program besides our physical festival in Linz. And from the starting point of our new festival locations, the Kepler Gardens at the Johannes Kepler University. We invited 120 partners from all across the globe to host their own gardens and exhibitions during the festival. So it was really a huge collaborative effort that brought together exhibitions, conferences, lectures, closed workshop sessions and hackathons from all of these partners. Maybe let's skip to the next slide. So here we can see the cities and countries that were represented and global areas. And if we skip to the next slide, we can see a little bit of an overview of all of the gardens. So of course, it's a very different festival feeling than usual, where you are in physical space enjoying artworks. And let's go to the next slide. And the next one. So let's stay here. So I really do think as a festival organizer dedicated to hosting a yearly gathering of our community, it's still a huge shift that a festival suddenly looks very much different from what we are used to. And so for 2021, we are just in the process of developing the festival now. And we will again be working on new ideas that foster kind of networking and interaction and moments of connection for all of our visitors and our audience until we can hopefully meet again in Linz in the coming years. So thank you very much for bearing with me as I was caught off earlier. We can skip to the last slide now. Thanks for bearing with me during my technical problems that I had. Thank you very much for your attention. Please tune in this year during the festival in September to join us there online, virtually. We'll have a great program this year, I'm sure. And big thank you again for Laval for hosting us today for this talk. And I look forward to hearing the next talks now. Thanks also to Harriet for bringing me on stage again to finish up.
Thank you so much, Kristina, for being with us and bearing with the technical issues. So a round of samba for technical issues and also for Kristina.
I'll try to get off the stage now.
Okay, so now let's welcome on stage Ulrich from the VRHAM Festival, who is going to talk about us of everything that is happening this year. So Ulrich, I'll put the presentation on the main screen, and whenever you're ready, just ask for the video and we'll put it on the side screen, okay?
Fantastic. So, hello everyone. I'm Ulrich Schrauth. I'm the artistic director of VRHAM Festival in Hamburg. Yeah, here we have the presentation. Let me check again. I was trying to run the presentation. Somehow this
No
has
work,
gone.
just let me know. I'll do next.
Cool. Cool. But actually, how do I find the menu again? Normally it comes up directly when I'm on stage.
Yeah, when you click on the screen, you should have the presentation tool on the bottom right side.
Yeah.
Do you have it? No.
Somehow it's gone. Anyway, so little technical issues. So let's get started. VRHAM Festival. What is VRHAM Festival? It is a virtual reality and arts festival. It's an annual festival that's taking place in Hamburg, in Germany. We had our first edition 2018, and we showcase all different kinds of immersive art forms in Hamburg, in our headquarter at a center that's called Oberhafenquartier. It's a creative quarter in Hamburg. Let's skip to the next slide. Yeah, so what makes VRHAM Festival special? There are three pillars that we think are really, really important about the festival. The first one, obviously, it's the art. we tried to showcase really different artists from all over the world working in immersive media. So it's not only about VR, it's about AR, mixed reality. We showcase the artistic pieces in very different installations. You see here, you see a few of the exhibit designs that we do for the physical festival. If we go to the next slide, we see another part that's very important for us is the location and the live events. We have this really, really beautiful old train track station in Hamburg that we completely remodel every year, and we build a stage in, we build the complete exhibition design, and it's like this old industry elements, and together with a new emerging technology that makes a really interesting mix. And we have a lot of live events like performances, opening speeches. We give out an award, the VRHAM Award. It's not the Emmy Award anymore. We showcase the VRHAM Award. We have residencies. And so it's really about bringing people together. And if we skip to the next slide, we also see it's really about social interaction. So it's about welcoming people, visitors who might have no or very little experience with emerging technologies like VR or AR. So to really bring people together, showcase the new art form, and to lower the barrier, because I think we all know, I mean, we are now in a virtual world, but a lot of people really don't have access. They think they're really interested in these new kind of emerging technologies, in immersive arts, but they don't really have an understanding of how these technologies work, what they can do with it, etc. So we really want to grab them where they are in terms of their experience. We have a lot of guides at site. They tell them how the technology works. We give a lot of instructions, and we really want to give access to the new art form. And of course, this social interaction really is about physical interaction as well. So you can see here our friends Michel Riac and Miriam Achar, by the way, sitting at the bar, talking to each other. It's really about connecting, about communities. And this is something that's at the core of our festival. And we were actually last year already in the middle of programming. We had a lot of ideas and partners and things we wanted to bring to Hamburg. And suddenly this hit. The next slide. Yeah, I think we all know what that was. And it got really pretty clear very easily that a physical festival was not going to take place this year. And then we decided, okay, what we're going to do. And we said, okay, we don't want to cancel, we don't want to postpone. It doesn't really make sense for us. We want to give artists a platform to showcase their work, especially in these times, in these challenging times. And we decided to go completely virtual. Next slide, please. So we tried to use the crisis as an opportunity and see the chances, and we invented VRHAM Virtual, a complete virtual version of the festival itself. If you skip to the next slide, it was a complete experiment. So we didn't really actually know what's going to happen. We tried out new formats. We thought about new access points for very different visitors, but really give the festival feeling, what I just tried to talk about or give an impression, really about social meeting points, about experiencing art together, to try to transport this into a virtual experience. And for this, if you just skip to the next slide, we showcased our complete festival in a virtual museum. We partnered up with the Museum of Other Realities. Most of you might probably know it. It's a complete virtual museum that's working in 3D. You actually go in there. It's a little bit like here, you have your avatars, but you can experience the artworks inside of the venue. And what we did was we built a complete wing to this virtual museum that looked exactly like our space in Hamburg. We remodeled everything and showcased all of the VR artworks inside the Museum of Other Realities. So people who experienced this with a headset could see all the artworks inside of the world, so they didn't have to go to any other of the websites or any other access points. It was all in the virtual experience. And you see, we completely remodeled the space. We made a complete exhibition design. We tried to contextualize the pieces, the art pieces, in specific rooms, really like in a museum setting, basically. And if you skip to the next slide, you see we had a lot of live events, like an award show, the opening. We had live concerts, DJ sets. We had a lot of like residency presentations, panels, keynotes on top of the artworks. And we streamed all of this out of our let's say our studio that the TV studio that you can see in the bigger picture, in our physical venue, and streamed all of this live inside the virtual venue and out of it on YouTube, Facebook, and all of our website, etc. So it was accessible through very different access points, both with VR, but also in 2D, in streaming, desktop, browser, etc. And now let's have a little look into the trailer. Harriet, if you just play the video quickly.
Yes, please, Ophélie, can you add the video?
I'm not quite sure if everyone could see the video. I couldn't, to be quite honest. I'm not quite sure.
It was on the side screen, but I'm gonna add the video here in the chat, and
That's great.
whenever you have a few minutes, feel free to go and check it out.
Cool. That's very good. Yeah. So that was last year. We were really happy with the outcome. As I said, it was a total experiment. So many things went wrong, and so many things actually worked out, surprisingly. So we tried really experimental formats and new ways of engaging with audiences. And we've learned so much, and we're very much looking forward and in the middle of our preparations for VRHAM 2021, which will take place from the 4th until the 12th of June. If you skip to the next slide. We are looking into a virtual version, of course, a little bit similar to what we did last year, but we're also going to have a physical installation, praying to the gods that the situation in Germany is getting a little better. It was very much better a few weeks ago, and now it's gone worse. So let's see what we come up with. But this physical installation would act as a portal to the virtual version, so people could actually walk around the virtual museum, see all the artworks in a safe space, and experience all of the different creators and the live events as well. So if you just skip to the next slide, just want to touch briefly on the virtual version. So we are developing our own platform, a social VR platform, together with InVR, the studio. It's based in Berlin. It is accessible through very different access points. So on the one hand, you can go in, of course, with a tethered headset. We're going to distribute it via Viveport, but also with Oculus Quest. You can go inside the venue, meet people, see all the artworks. And but also we will have a desktop version, a little bit like here in Vibela. You can just download on your Mac or your Windows and connect with people, go into the venue. And the other one is the physical venue. Yeah, just skip to the next one. Harriet, yeah, exactly. Which, as I said, will act as a portal to the virtual venue where you can, especially visitors without a headset, can just come and see all of the artworks and have a festival feeling together with creators and visitors from all over the world. That's in a nutshell, if you skip to the next slide, that's in a nutshell what VRHAM Festival was about last year, what's going to be about this year. Please stay tuned. It's very exciting what's going to come up. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm going to be around a little more, and I want to thank, of course, Recto VRSo for inviting me to talk here. Harriet, thanks for your support, and everyone, let's connect very soon. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Ulrich. Thank you, thank you. A little round of applause and samba as well.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and let's keep in touch for your event as soon as we have more info. Guys, we also send info on our social network. Okay, so I actually have feedback from Benjamin, who actually had to leave earlier because his little son had a problem and was feeling very sick. So he's actually feeling better because he's with his daddy now. I have a picture, but I'm not going to send it to you. Unfortunately, what I'll try to do instead is tell you more about what's happening in Amsterdam in November, which I have no clue what I'm doing, but let's try and do the best. So let's go ahead with this presentation. Well, plenty of VR, that's great. So what do we have this year? Oh, this year, the vision, a better world with immersive tech. So how to create a playground, test ground, launchpad for the creators of the future. But who are the creators? Well, you're all here. I can see you there. So you better be at VRDays at the end of the year, right? All of this would have probably been better with Benjamin, but basically you have the idea. Everything is changing and it's probably going to last a little while. So how do we adapt, right? And so we're going to have a few different days of conferences, and the 3 days will be separated in one day with business, second day science, and the third day art, which we are all concerned about, of course. And also, the point of these conferences are to inspire, educate, and connect all of us. So this year we are still having a trade show, physical trade show. We're going to have this hybrid event. So we're going to have the conferences as usual. We're going to have the trade show in Amsterdam because we all love to see you in Amsterdam. We'll still have the IFM immersive funding market as well. The Church of VR happening with all the different contents and some experiments. So that's pretty good. So uh, all of these are projects that I don't know about, but let's keep going. IFM, don't forget to start registering for the IFM if you are a startup and you're willing to scale. You will have meetings with professionals in the industry with who we've been working with, engaging promises in projects early stage. Okay, let's skip. The open calls are coming soon. Oh, by the way, the open calls are opening end of this week. So I think on Monday you should be able to, for all the open calls, IFM, the talks, if you want to submit a talk, and if you want to exhibit, you will be able to find everything on the website vrdays.co, and we'll wait you there. If you have any questions, please send a message to Benjamin at vrdays.com, and if you have any question for the conferences, that would be me and Benjamin. Okay, so instead of saying things that I don't really know about because I didn't prepare this presentation, let's go ahead and welcome on stage Cedric, who knows what he's talking about, from Stereolux. Please, Cedric, I can see you there. Welcome on stage, and let's do a round of applause for me and the Woo! Okay, Cedric, can you climb on? Let's try on the back of the stage, new. are checking. I think, Cedric, you have a little issue with your team ID. Can you disconnect and come back? Thank you. 2 secondes pour le reconnecter. Until then, let's upload up. And oh, we didn't see the video from Ulrich earlier, so let's go ahead and I'll put it back on. Up. So that everybody can see it this time. And it will be on the main screen.
Hello.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for your patience. Welcome on stage, Cedric, who is the Media Art Department Director at Stereolux. Please welcome on stage. And I uploaded your presentation. Let me know if you need any help.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for this invitation, and especially thank you for to Judith and Recto VRSo, which invited us for this short and brief presentation. So I'm working at the Stereolux and Scopiton Festival. Could we go to the next slide, please? I'm not sure that everybody can see that.
Perfect. You're on the second slide now.
Okay, thank you very much. So we created this project in 1995, which was first dedicated to contemporary music, but very soon, just after that, we imagined and created the festival, Scopiton Festival in 2002, which was beginning of our vision, our general vision to cross all the field of music, contemporary music and media arts or digital arts. So next, please. As Stereolux opened in 2011, it was very important to explain that the festival came first and was at the beginning of the years 2000 the first way for us to cross, to think and to rock, making those fields together and making those artists and those inspirations working together as well. So Scopiton Festival is quite a common event, common festival, but we have a very fine balance between exhibitions, performing arts, electronic cultures and electronic musics, and professional meetings. So this is something with a very large panoramic vision of what we are talking about in the field of media arts. So next slide, please. Here you can probably see many different keywords and many different topics talking about this this way of this process of artistic creation. I mean that usually those words are dedicated and connected to technology, innovation, science, research, but it's completely usual today to connect those words to art. We decided not to be very closed or specified in one or other of those technologies, but to be completely open and to engage or involve ourselves on our project, depending on the project we have in our building. So next, please, to explain briefly what is Stereolux project. What are the main ideas of this project? Of course, we are talking about technology and arts, or media and arts, but Today, more and more focusing of the strange and the sensible or tangible relation between art and digital. I mean, we can talk about the break of the continuity and using the technology as a process or as a goal, but especially to say that it's not a pretext anymore. It's more something which is connected, related, can serve the art creation, and the artistic creation can serve the technology as well. So there is this very specific idea of convergence and divergence of medium, and especially when we used to talk about this Latin keywords, which is versus, which is in French something like contre, but contre could mean in English with or against. And this is this idea of something which is with other thing or against, to fight or to collaborate with. But finally, probably the most important thing is this idea of experimentation and hybridizations. This term of hybrid art today is probably the most illustrating term or words for the contents, the artistic contents we would like to show and we would like to work with. Next one, please. We developed, or we decided to develop 4 different axes in this project, talking about showing performances or performing arts live exhibitions. Another one is the support for creation, for development, creation, and production in artistic ways. Another one is the support for local development. And the last one I'm going to explain briefly is the cultural and education actions. So next one, please. Talking briefly about the cultural and education actions. It's most of this public is young people or kids, or very young kids sometimes. We have at the same time workshops or actions with adults or older people, but our main goal is this kid or people from working in schools or young people to create spaces for them to create collaboration with artists and these people, this kind of audience, and to develop or to make them learn some practices and some tools to sometimes develop the knowledgement of those tools, of those practices, but sometimes to hijack as well the tools or the first using of those tools. Next one, please. Another department we created at the opening of Stereolux is the Arts and Technology Lab, which is a support for hybrid creation and artistic practice. As you can see on this slide, there is so many actions in this lab, but the main idea is to focus on to cross people coming from the area of science, of universities, high schools, from industry or creative industry, from companies and arts and development, lab research. So we have many different people, so many different areas coming in our lab to talk together, to think together, and to create together. It's important to explain that our residency time are not sometimes completely dedicated to a final result. I mean that we completely accept the fact that we can research, we can experiment, we can do prototypes and test some things, some ways, some tools, and finally to decide to relaunch, to cancel, to find another way, or to stop everything to go to another way. This context, this idea of failure is a very important way to learn and to process as well. The next one is just some very short examples of our past creations and our past productions we did. I decided to focus mainly on projects which are in the arts and science collaboration, because we really enjoy this kind of process to have scientists and artists talking together to try to understand each field, and after that to probably to help the other to think differently or to create and to approach differently their own discipline. So this is not only to have an illustration of scientist processes or data or some scientist context. At the same time, it's something which is more interesting as soon as we have a very strong collaboration and a very strong work which decide how the artist can understand and give some information to the artist, and how the artist can understand and learn as well something to the scientist. So here was a collaboration with the Japanese artist Reishi Kurokawa and the CEA Saclay, which is the same, the slide next, please, talking about molecular cloud, with the duo, the English and Korean duo Kim Ships. The CEA Saclay is the Atomic and Energy Committee in Saclay, Paris. The next one was a collaboration with the Mathematics Science Department of the University of Nantes on the French artist Julien Bayle. The two next slides are talking about sonars and Maxime Dong, which is in process collaboration from 1929 to 2020 or 2021 with the LIABIBES, which is an oceanographic lab set up in Brest in France and in Montreal in Quebec. The next is talking about telepresent wind from the American artist David Bowen, and the lab at the University of Minnesota. Very interesting, using an organic system to explain the real-time process of the meteorologic data of the wind. And the next one with Bassin de Lumière and Cheval Vert was a collaboration with the region of Pays de la Loire, the region where we are at this time in Laval and in Nantes, both in Laval and in Nantes, and collaboration with the Créneau, which is the research center of Nantes in France. And the last one is the collaboration with Su Wenxi, Taiwanese artist, choreographer, artist. She made just after residency time at the CERN, which is the European Center for Nuclear Research in Geneva, Switzerland. It's all from me now. It was very brief, but I'm sure that it's time now to invite Martin, probably Judith as well. Martin Lambert is a colleague of mine, which is manager of the Art and Technology Lab in Stereolux. I'm working on the workshop, conferences, professional meetings, and strong collaboration in arts and other fields of science or industry. So please, Martin, up to you to probably deliver the name of the winner of a very, very beautiful open call launched by Recto VRSo with the collaboration of Stereolux. Please.
Let's all welcome on stage Martin and Judith, if you're around. A round of applause.
Okay, hello everyone. Hello Judith. And thank you for having me today. Can you hear me well? I had some problem with my mic a few days ago. Okay, perfect. So hello everyone. I'm as Cedric said, I'm Martin Lambert. I work at Art and Tech Lab of Stereolux, which was just presented to you by Cedric. I'm here to talk about a call we launched earlier this year with the Recto VRSo team, and to introduce you with Judith, the winners of this call, Katia and Leah, who will be with us on stage in a few moments, I guess. I think we don't have visual. Oh, yes, on the right screen. Good. So the goal of this call is to offer a cross-residency program between Stereolux and the Laval Virtual Center, 2 weeks in Stereolux, 1 week at the Laval Virtual Center, and to provide technical, human, financial resources to an artist or collective who want to experiment in the field of immersive technologies, or VR. The particularity of this call is that it's focused on projects not yet very well defined or written, so at a really early stage of creation, with the idea to provide a space for discovery and experimentation. So there is no objective to achieve a finished project at the end of the residencies. We really want the artists to focus only on research and on experimentation. Although we wanted it to be open to artists whose work is not necessarily already in touch with VR. Also, Katja and Lea, the winners, have quite an experience in this field, but it was not what decided us to select them. So more concretely, the residencies will happen between May and June, and it takes 3 stages. 1 week at Stereolux to focus on the writing of the project, 1 week at the Laval Virtual Center to experiment with state-of-the-art immersive technology, and another week at Stereolux to work on a prototype. As I said, there won't be a finished artistic project at the end, but we hope that we will be able to share some elements created during the residencies, maybe a prototype or some research materials, but it will be up to Katja and Lea to decide how they want to formalize their work. So it's the first edition of this fall, but if everything goes well, we have good hopes to launch another one next year. So we'll talk about it, Judith, at the end of this first edition. And I think now it's your turn, Judith, to introduce Katja and Lea. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Martin. And I'm also very delighted to this residencies and the first year of our collaboration on this residency. And yes, I'm very delighted for this first edition to present you. And I ask to the laureates to come on stage. So I invite Léa Dedola and Katja Maurer to present their project. The project is Quand le cœur se lève in French. So I'm very happy to this residency, and you can
yes, and we can
present
to congratulate them. Congratulations to the laureates. Congratulations, Léa and Katja.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Thank you very much, Judith and Martin, for your speech, and Recto VRSo for the invitation. Can you hear me? It's okay?
Perfect.
Katja is gonna put the Google slide on the screen. Yeah.
Okay. You click on the screen and
yeah, you have the bad point of view, so
no, you can click on the screen. You click on the screen and you download your PowerPoint. Perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
So we are going to start by introducing ourselves. Can you? Yes. Sorry. The next slide. I can see the good slides on the screen. Oh, okay. It's okay. Okay. So my name is Léa Dedola. I'm the one with the green hat on the stage. And I'm a PhD student in arts, doing my thesis on the subject of artistic creation in virtual reality, co-supervised by Philippe Fuchs and Martin Barnier in the Passage 2021 laboratory of the University Lumière Lyon 2. And I'm also a game designer in a virtual reality publishing company, which is called Rise Up Studio. I'm currently working on emotional immersion and interaction in artistic environment in virtual reality. Hi everyone, my name is Katja Maurer and I'm a 3D artist and a teacher in 3D modeling, 3D painting and sculpt. After obtaining a master at the National School of Fine Art in Lyon, I studied digital interactive arts in Montreal with Alexandre Cassonguet, and I made a 3D and animation school to improve my digital arts works. After working at Rise Up Studio, a video game studio, I'm actually working on mixing my traditional sculpting work and my knowledge in the digital art field. Put the next slide, please. Okay, so our VR project for the residents is called Quand le cœur se serre in French, when the heart tightens. and we'll focus in particular on emotional relationships between one human being and the experience of the virtual environment. To do this, we will use, in addition to the virtual reality headset, an electrocardiac sensor. We will use, yes, it was the next slide. Okay. We will use emotional data in real time as a transforming agent of the virtual reality experience, underlying mechanics and aesthetic dimension of the virtual environment. And I've already tried some of that for my research, but always as a scientific prototype, not as a piece of art. So this residence will be the place to experience this research in the art field.
Sorry, I have a problem with the slide. I think somebody else is trying to put other slides. So it's not the good slide. Sorry, I'm trying to find the good one. We want to develop a graphic universe inspired by pointillism, a technique that consists of obtaining colored nuances by juxtaposing dots of pure color, instead of mixing different paints to obtain homogeneous tones. Our artistic research will concern the creation of emotional environment in 3D pointillism. Visual style will adapt precisely to the cardiac variation because it allows us to dissolve the figurative elements into dots, which will then rematerialize into other figurative forms. Emotional biomes will therefore be made up of floating particles of color and light, metamorphosing with morphing techniques according to variation of the earth rate. I will put the video. Our first test of 3D particle with Unreal Engine. And we can't wait to experience all of this with, and we are very grateful to Stereolux and Recto VRSo for their confidence in our project. And we will keep you posted. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you very soon. And have a great evening.
You can't interact with the screen.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy you come in June in Laval Virtual Center and Stereolux to continue to create with this project. Thank you so much. And
Thank you,
see you very soon.
Thank you.
And maybe we'll have some more to show in July, so
yes,
keep in touch.
Of course, yes.
After the residence. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you, everybody. That was super great. So now we are going to welcome on stage Laurent Chrétien, Laval Virtual, Director of Laval Virtual. A big round of applause for him.
Thank you, Ariette. And again, congratulations for your project, Léa and Katia. We are very pleased to welcome you in Laval for this project. Well, here we are, my friends. The fourth edition of Recto VRSo for its virtual part is ending soon. Wait a moment. I am trying to catch my tools up where it is. Yeah, here we are. Wait a moment.
Do you need a handle?
Sorry?
Do you need a handle?
No, it's okay.
Okay, okay. Well, let's all have a little dance until Laurent finds his stools. Woohoo!
No, but I don't have in fact, the presentation. So if I can have it, it could be great. Wait a moment, sorry. I will go down.
as you can see, it's always difficult live events,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Little issues,
Yeah,
people
thank you.
disconnecting, but we'll find a way. No worries.
Huh.
Yeah, let's dance.
Even if we know how to do it, sometimes, je peux pas le faire, tu as le contrôle. Mhm. Sorry, wait a minute. Well, it doesn't matter. I will start in any case. So I really hope that you took full advantage of this fourth edition of Recto VRSo. It was a very nice edition. In fact, I think I have a full problem. I cannot control anything. Well, it doesn't matter. I know that the exchanges and the conferences were very rich, that the total participation exceeded 800 people coming from 45 countries. So I think that this is necessary to get some applause for that. We have again, I do believe, to congratulate all the teams who worked on the preparation of this great event. It was a very nice job. I wanted to tell you that in the new era that we are going to live, the virtual environments, the virtual worlds, which we have been practicing by your side for almost 25 years, and which are the heart of your activity, will continue to help us to live these moments of sharing, of meeting and enrichment across the planet in an increasingly simple, natural, and effective way. Yeah, here we are. Without having to travel each time to attend a particular conference, or by increasing usefully the physical part of events, I will illustrate this in the rest of my speech. This use of virtual worlds for events, for training, for the office, a bit like a third place. We call ourselves the fourth place, in fact. And for many companies which, by practicing today in remote working, directly make the proof that they will also be able to do it in virtual worlds, regardless of the physical place where we really are. The physical parts of the events will undoubtedly take more and more value for special and unique moments, or to party. And some of you know very well how famous our parties are during Laval Virtual. In short, the events will reinvent themselves, starting, of course, with our own events. We are pleased to offer you an amazing program during the Laval Virtual period, which will exceptionally be held in early July this year. I remind you that normally Laval Virtual Europe is held in March or April, and right now, in fact. And do you remember what I said at the beginning of Recto VRSo? What the legend says about the weather? Yeah, so you can see it on the slide. The weather is always nice during Laval Virtual, the Laval for close friends. Well, we are looking forward to July, since we have 4 events in one this year. The first one, well, let's say first, a lot of wisdom with our new event, Ethic in the Technologies of the Future. July 6th will be a day of thoughts and discussions around the impacts of our technologies on our humanity. Thoughts informed by human sciences rather than by pure technologists. informed by stars of thought like Yves Coppens, Étienne Klein, Cédric Villani, Gaspard Koenig, Eric Salobir, and many more. So it will be a great program, about 20 speakers to discuss the theme, should we tame time? Yeah, we'll make a, should we tame time? This is something quite difficult. By dealing with issues that are no longer so much in the domain of science fiction, with such as immortality, time traveling, infinite memory, and so on. I said that physical events will become gems, treasure, and this event will be one of it, and it will therefore take place on July 6th at the Laval Theatre. It will be retransmitted and augmented by philosophical workshops with speakers in the virtual world, to which all our remote visitors will have access. The ticketing opens next week, so I hope to see you there. We will then be holding the 23rd edition of Laval Virtual. Here it is. From July 7 to 9. We will find there all the strengths and inspiration of the exhibitors, of conferences, competitions that we organize, and which will complement each other from one world to another, from Laval Virtual in real life to the Laval Virtual world. Even though many exhibitors have already confirmed their participation, others are still reluctant to sign up, and the containment situation does not help them take the plunge, that is clear. However, the announcements this week of maintaining the physical part of Vivatech, the words of Cedric, speaking for the government, the attachment of our President Emmanuel Macron to this event Vivatech, which will take place by mid-June, are rather auspicious arguments for Laval Virtual. I hope many of you will be there. The ticketing is already open on our website, so you can go there. We will meet again Recto VRSo for an essential physical part that we missed so much last year. Judith will talk about it more later. The artistic route will be integrated into our new festival for the general public. This is a fully new format that we are testing, which will be very different from what we have experienced for 20 years. Different in its duration. Instead of the weekend following the professional days, the festival will take place over 9 days, from July 3 to 11, including the 2 weekends before and after the professional days. Different also in its location. Instead of being confined to the volume of the professional exhibition, the festival will spread throughout the city over several routes and in more than 20 different places, which will invest in making in a great popular celebration of virtual reality. Different in its contents. Over the years, the general public weekend had become too close, according to me, to a fleeting amusement park. We want to give it more meaning, more relevance, and also make the public and young people understand that virtual reality is a sector of the future in many fields of activities. Different in its price also. It will be free for everyone this year. Different in its spirits. We are launching a program with initiatives that we are pushing, but we want the players in virtual reality and augmented reality, including artists, to be able to take over the city of Laval, to take over its places, to propose projects, animations, experiments, and thus offer an amazing festival to all audiences. For example, this year we will organize initiation days and a large international ADO tournament. ADO is one of Laval Virtual's great stories. This is one of the fruits of our historical relationship with Japanese universities and laboratories. And ADO was presented as a prototype at Laval Virtual twice, in 2016 and 2018, I believe, before becoming a real technological new sport that you can discover and practice this year during Laval Virtual 2021. In conclusion, this is what I wanted to tell you before handing over to Florian Bercault, our mayor, to make you all want to come physically at the beginning of July for Laval Virtual 2021. Congratulations again to all the teams for the extraordinary work provided this week, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Thank you, and Florian, I think it's your turn. Cheers, everybody, and see you soon. Bye-bye, and thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Laurent. So a few words to conclude. So I'm very happy to close this fourth entirely virtual edition of Recto VRSo Festival. Congratulations all for this edition on a more than ever current topic, virtual exhibition, real exhibition. Well done to Judith Guez, Laurent Chrétien, and all the teams, the driving forces, the artists who set up the festival successfully and organized it in very special conditions, as we know. Thank you also to all the participants, museums, art galleries, students, schools and universities from all over the world. Thank you to all the partners who provided the debates and discussions, as well as to the publics who came numerous to the Laval virtual world to discover the other side of artistic creation. A few years ago, I discovered cybernetic art with Nicolas Chauffeur, who in the 50s used techniques on this time that were electronical and electric ones in order to create. His work is fascinating and its thinking are carried out today in this event. In the same way, in 2018, it was a real intuition from Laval Virtual to grasp culture issues linked with the digital and virtual realities. Since then, the Recto VRSo Festival has invested some of Laval symbolic buildings to encourage the steering of art and has known how to adapt the constraint in order to propose new formats. So well done. It's not a matter of chance if this festival was born in our city, which is one of the birthplaces of virtual reality. As you know, it has found the ecosystem and support needed to its blooming. So new technologies and information and communication open to a great field for creation, as possibilities and issues are numerous thanks to digital. More than ever, culture and creation are essential to question our time, the relevance of digital, the real and the virtual, and our presence in this world. And as you may know, we competed to be the capital of French culture. So even if we failed in the final race, we set up our intending projects. For example, in next year, you will found in our city artist residence, which usually takes place in very different spots, such as swimming pools.
Hey, hi, we have lost the sound of the mayor. And the connection, I think, is a little bit low. This might happen. Just let me check. Well, this is, as usual, technical issues on virtual environment. The mayor is coming back on stage. A round of applause for the technical issues. Yay!
Next year, we will have full of artist residents in our city in very special spots such as swimming pool, factories, and they will be dedicated to numerical art, digital arts. So it will be a nice year next year. We also want to involve culture in the heart of Laval Virtual. Culture and creation are excellent means of bringing the territories closer to the people for Laval Virtual. And just to conclude, congratulations, and I will be very happy to meet you again in July, as said Laurent, in the real world this time, and make you discover our city and continue the festival. So see you soon in Laval. And I leave the speech and the place to Judith.
Thank you.
Welcome on stage, Judith. A round of applause for her. Thank you, Florian.
Here, not with my avatar and on stage too. So thank you everybody to conclude this exceptional virtual edition of Recto VRSo Festival. It was a challenge to adapt this event in virtual. Oh, okay, I can be here also. So I'm very happy of this 3 days of reflection and observation of imagine around online art, online and virtual exhibition and digital art. I thank all the participants who have contributed to this wonderful virtual effervescence. We had great discussion, and I thank all our international speakers who participated in the questioning of our current period. We had exciting reflection on virtual galleries, virtual museum, interrogating the position of the artwork and the different in the real and virtual space. And I really want to continue this reflection after all this observation. I would also like to thank all the exhibitors and our partners of the Recto VRSo area and the research creation area, partners, institutions, universities, schools, etc., who meet together during this event around exchanges and exciting research seminars. And I thank also all the artists who participated to Recto VRSo in the exhibition or for the performance too here. We are here in the Laval virtual world. So thanks also all our partners, our founders, sponsors and institutional partners, our event partners and media partners. We have also collaboration with school and university and festival. So, and I would also like to warmly thank all our volunteers and the students of Avenir and UCO d'Angers, without whom the event could not have taken place. And finally, I would thank all the team of Laval Virtual who participated in this fantastic challenge to make the Recto VRSo in virtual this year. So I thank, and I hope I forgot no people, but the Stephanie's production team, all the team, and with her, and with her, Emily, who coordinates this challenging edition. with me on the creation of the program. And Harriet and her team for the organization. With we had also VRDays, and all the team of Vincent Marie-Laurent who participated to the event at all So we finished the continue here, so you can stay to go to the party in virtual and party and join me. In